Hey, everybody. Today we're going to discover the top 3 ways to plug that multi-million-dollar leak in your company. Remember, we're talking about how to keep employees around. So, we're talking about that research from Paro that shows that work life balance was valued over compensation in 2022. Yeah, last year. Last year, when inflation hit the roof, we were still valuing work life balance over compensation. That doesn't mean the compensation isn't important. You need to pay your people fairly. But we need to think about how we can best serve our people. And sometimes that's in a little flexibility. So, we're going to talk about what you need to know as an e-com business owner to properly grow your business with that in mind, so that you can build a team that is motivated and wants to stay with you for a long time. So, hey, again, I'm Ani Pendergraph from Pendergraph Holdings. Santa is here with me in my lap, looking at me like this at the moment. See if she wants to join in. Do you want to join? Yeah? Yeah, you do? Okay. Hello! She's just a little bit sleepy. Long term, I may need to think about doing this at a different time. Anyway, let's jump right in. So the first thing you need to understand is, what are your employees' motivators and pain points? Okay. It's more important than ever as a business owner, and especially in e-com, to listen to your employees and adapt your business accordingly. So the recent research from Paro made it clear that earning a larger paycheck is no longer a motivator for adhering to a regular 9 to 5 schedule. So yeah, people want more money. They do. Okay, we're not saying they don't want more money. What we're saying is, if we're strict about the 9 to 5 schedule, Monday through Friday, that people are turning away from that in droves. They would much rather have flexibility. Okay, that doesn't mean that everybody feels that way. Obviously, there are going to be some people who want that specific schedule. It works for them. I know that used to be me once upon a time. But when you enter different phases of your life, different things become important. So if your employees aren't motivated by the dollar signs, then you have to determine what they are motivated by, and then begin to implement fair strategies that everyone can benefit from, including you. So the current research says that employees value work-life balance over compensation. We know that. So the common pain points associated with that are going to be the time away from their homes and their families, and the fun things that they like to do outside of work, the lack of flexibility, and work interrupting their already set personal time. So I want you to think about your current employees and answer this. Why do they go to work every day? And how invested in my business are they? If you don't know the answers to those questions, you need to talk to them. Ask them. Allow your employees to answer anonymously, even if they feel the need to, and then use those answers to determine what motivates your employees. So basically, if people want to answer that anonymously, if you want to give them that option, that means doing a survey. Because you can't fix a problem when you don't know what's causing it in the first place. What is the problem? And what's causing the problem, right? Point 2, set frequent meetings to discuss what your employees actually care about, okay? So we're talking about more than profits here, more than what you can do to grow your business. Specifically, directly, we need to talk about how to grow your employees. So you have these meetings monthly or quarterly, depending just on the size of your business and the needs your employees have. So during these meetings, you listen to their frustrations, their dreams, and what they want their future to look like. And in doing that, you'll create a safe space for them to continue to grow. If you know how they're wanting to grow, you can help make your business the place where they can do that. And So you allow them to grow and form together in those meetings, sharing things that are working for them and what they want to do in the future. So that's with you, with each other. Sometimes it's one-on-one, sometimes it's in a group. All right. Can you adapt your company culture to fit their dreams? Sometimes you can. If you're looking at hiring a programmer in 6 months and you've got a virtual assistant who wants to be a programmer and is actively learning already how to do that, maybe you talk to them about how they can fill that role. And it might not work, but it might. And it costs a lot less to help somebody move in your company than to take the time to find a new person for a new role and make sure it's a good fit. Okay. So keep in mind that when an employee voices a frustration, the goal is to listen and take constructive steps to alleviate it. Don't ask them about the problems that they have in the workplace and the challenges that they're facing if you're not going to do anything to take real action. Listening and taking action shows your employees that you value them. Okay. Point number 3, encourage a healthy work-life balance. Okay, this one is important to do sensitively. Okay, you can't just tell them to have a healthy work-life balance and then force them to work 60 hours of overtime a month. Okay, it just, that's not how this works. What you say and what you do have to match. So in 2017, so we're talking about before the pandemic, an article in Forbes stated that allowing flexible work schedules is one of the top ways an employer can reduce employee turnover. Right? Okay. So we're talking about letting people take their kids to the doctor during the day, right? We're talking about caring more about results than time spent at a desk. Now, does that mean you don't need your employees sometimes at specific times? No, like especially if they're in a position where they need to be available for customers, it's understandable that they need to have a specific schedule and they expect that. But not everybody has those requirements all the time, and you don't need to enforce unnecessary requirements on them. So let them do things that they can enjoy outside of work as long as they're hitting their measurables, right? They can go to their appointments and take care of their families and plan vacations and work at 2 o'clock in the morning if they want to, right? And you can find ways to offer flexibility that fit your business, such as flexible lunch times or flexible hours during the day or flexible time off. Okay, that's up to you. It's up to the role, really. Factories, for example, have to have everybody there at the same time. You need the whole shift there, right, for them to run efficiently. But that doesn't mean that you can't be flexible in other ways. And you can look into allowing employees to work from home or hiring established freelancers for specific positions. So the benefits of hiring a freelancer are that it's more cost effective than a full-time employee at the same level of expertise. And you have access to specialized talent like a bookkeeper. And there's usually a quick turnaround on deliverables. So if we're talking about a bookkeeper specifically, if you hire one, you're paying their wage. Let's say just very conservatively, you are paying them $15 an hour. Okay, that's approximately $30,000 a year, right? But if you have a bookkeeper that you pay online, a virtual bookkeeper who's a freelancer and does not work for your business, then you aren't paying them full-time hours. You're paying them a set amount each month. And even if that's $1,000 a month, even if it's $2,000 a month, it's still less than paying just the wages for that full-time employee, not to mention the benefits that you have to offer, the taxes that you have to pay, and the other things that are on top of their wages. So just to keep that in mind. The main takeaway is to understand that your employees have lives outside of work. And when they can live their lives separate from work, they're going to feel more satisfied, less distracted, and they'll be less likely to quit at work with you, with their employer. So for many people, team bonding is a great experience, and you might want to put together team bonding activities for your team, and that might be a retreat, or it might be an annual family picnic. And if you take the time to make it a fun activity that they're going to respond to, that fits with your company culture, they're going to respond positively. Okay, then that means, I know, not everybody likes those kinds of activities, right? And that's okay. They don't have to. You can't make everyone happy, and that's okay. But do your best to create an experience that matches the business you're building. If you're building a family-centered business, it would probably be more appropriate to have something that allows them to be with their families, like the annual family picnic we were talking about, rather than the retreat where they can't take their families, right? So I hope you can see how important providing an environment that allows for healthy work-life balance can be for your business growth. Ever since the pandemic, employees are requesting, even demanding, more time to do the things that they enjoy and to be able to take care of their loved ones. And can you blame them? I mean, for so many of us, isn't that why you went into business in the first place? So if you don't have flexibility in place and you're struggling with employee retention and growth, that would be something to work on. Maybe it's time to restructure your business. You can start by bringing on freelance team members, and that will help you test the waters, get a feel for what it's like to have employees who are masters of their own time. Yeah. If you're still doing your own bookkeeping, or your statements never add up at the end of the month, if you're lacking a team to help you fix these problems, reach out. And we'll see how we might be able to help. And also, if you know any other business owners who might need to hear this message, please feel free to share this video with them or tag it below. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week.